Welcome to
All right,
Daddy's
we
Gertie
are ready.
Library. Daddy's Gertie Library. Fire Force Season 1. Whew. Yeah, this is a dark background. I like this.
This is a great
Didn't
series
you
for
just say this was a spoiler
fighters.
background?
I don't know, maybe.
No,
No,
it's because
we're
It's
talking about
very
season one.
unhinged.
it's 'cause we almost started talking about it before we started talking about it. Is, is this from season 1? This is from season 1. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying anything because I'm already pretty far in the series. So all I'm saying is this series is very great.
All right.
Turning
So,
a firefighter anime into what this is amazing.
so
Oh
that's
yeah,
your
it's
first
a good
impression.
spin on firefighters.
That's all I thought it was. I thought it was just gonna be an interesting story anime about firefighters, like the same way that they've done with um boxing and tennis. And I thought it was just gonna be an interesting take on, oh wow, look at this animated version of firefighters where instead of fighting fires, it's actual like a demon.
Fighting fires.
Yeah, like the fire takes on a humanoid version, and you're
Right.
actually fighting that humanoid version. I thought that's all it was gonna be.
The Great Cataclysm is what they called it. Where people, what was it, like hundreds of years ago or something like that, started a big flame
Yeah,
where
that I didn't expect all
spontaneous
that.
combustion was like the number one cause of death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That intro is just awesome.
Or at
Oh
least
yeah.
I don't know if it's the number one cause of death, but it's the cause of death that
It's
people
the
fear the
leading
most.
cause. Yeah.
It's the one that they fear the most, which I wish that I mean, it's not okay. So first impression, I thought that it was just going to be a firefighting joint. It was so much more than that. And there's a whole world beyond it. There's a whole mythos behind it. There's a lot of interesting characters. So there's a bunch of stuff dunked into it. And the more you explore into it, episode 2, episode 3, it just gets deeper and deeper. And even like the small little side stories of like some of the people who spontaneously combust are is sometimes it's like gut wrenching. You're just like, oh, and like they don't pay attention to like little details, like on their first mission with that. No. On Arthur and Shinra's first mission together, when they came on, like, oh, they went to the house and they had all the weapons out, and the little girl was freaking out. And then the captain admonished them for it because they're like, "Yo, her mom already passed. Now it's her dad is in there. Like, we're about to go kill her dad. So have some sensitivity and don't have your weapons drawn in front of her." I was like, "Oh wow!" So then it put everything in context of, okay, why do they have these big old drapey robes? It's like, oh, well, they're firefighters to protect them from fire. It's like, yeah, but some of them can control fire, some of them can emit their own fire. Do they really need it? No, it's more so to
Some of
shield
them
the
are just
public
hot as
from the stuff
fire.
that they're holding onto. And
It's a uniform.
yeah, but it's a uniform that protects it's as much for the public as it is for them, or more so for the public than it is for them. So the details that they go into this anime with all those little small details like that, and like the dad is just like, okay, he's in constant pain, or at least they assume so, and he's just sitting there because he doesn't want anything to happen. And
Yeah.
it's just like stuff like that. It's just so beautiful. This show has all of that on top of that, just the animation and the fight scenes, and all of it's just fire. It's
And
just,
so much hidden lore.
yeah, it's
Really.
good.
Hidden lore. Name one for example.
Um, the whole thing of Shinra back there, finding his goal of being a hero and finding out what happened to his mom and his
Okay.
brother,
Okay.
like
That's
why they
true.
had to
That's
die in a
true.
fire, and he blames himself, but he joins the Squad 8,
I don't know if that was
and
hidden. They kind of told us in the anime though, right?
yeah, but you don't know why.
Well, like I get they did say it at first. Like things are slowly revealed. Where
Mhm.
okay, he wants to be a hero. Oh, he's joining Fire Force Company. Cool. On the surface, that's all it is. The deeper thing behind it, oh, this thing happened. You don't really know what happened until like at the end of the season. you really find out what happened.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people know about it, and the people who didn't say anything because of, oh, the mystery behind the Adola burst. The mom's still alive. The brother's still alive. The brother's actually part of the White Clad. You have this special thing that resonates, and is wanted. So it's definitely a lot of lore in there, a lot of hidden stuff in there that's really, really, really well done. So I think that if it was, I really enjoyed this anime, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
I
But
want to say this is what I like about this wholeheartedly.
mhm,
This is an original series.
yes,
Hands down,
Oh yeah.
this is all original. This isn't a copy of something. This isn't like a remake of something. This is all an original series. Took its steps, took its stand, and hands down went in. This is what I like.
hmm
In the
Something fresh,
same
something new.
in the same world of Soul Eater.
for sure. This reminds me of Soul Eater, especially the Hell or Dola. Definitely reminds me of Soul Eater, and also like
Same art,
the
that's
Well,
for
it's
sure.
the same artists, same
that makes
makers.
a lot of sense. Okay, huh? That was one that was like slowly revealing and got
Come on,
progressively deep
the
also.
smile alone, guys. Look at his smile up there.
Yeah, I
Like,
should
come
have
on,
Yeah.
known.
how did
That
you not see
moon,
that?
I should have known.
the
I think.
moon,
How
the
do you think this
moon is
ranks,
the
though?
same.
I like this anime more than I like Soul Eater, and I really like Soul Eater.
Mm, I don't know about
Hmm.
that.
Mhm.
Well, I like the fact that this takes the same I want to say like concept and story as Soul Eater in the sense of like again, it's its own thing. You know, when Soul Eater came out, there wasn't like anything like that.
Yeah.
Shinigamis hunting witches and this and that. Like that's no. All
Yeah,
in a school of training up, and I'm like, okay, this is all original.
yeah,
Yeah.
And here we are in something just as awesome. And I hate to say it, there's not that many anime that come out as original. I mean, we have like a million isekais that are the
Ugh.
same thing redone, or
yeah,
we have a million hey, this is a fantasy world where this guy he's the hero, but this happened or something like that.
Right.
We have a million, oh, I'm in a tech world because of this. The hidden guy who same story over and over and over and
yeah,
over.
yeah.
Like it gets old, but you don't really get much in detail when you go into those stories. Like you get maybe one
Makes it
different detail
hard.
from another series. But this fully fresh, fully flamed on of like, yo, firefighters using fire? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes it really hard to like anime anymore, you know?
It
Damn.
does.
Yeah, yeah, because it ups the stakes. Like, okay, no, I'm not settling for less than this. No, you're not good. That JoJo's Bizarre Adventure did that. Like, oh, 3 episodes, like a complete story. Okay, here we go. It's like that was just a prelude to okay, shit. Where are we going from here? So
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. This definitely upped the ante. I think this was way more ambitious than Soul Eater, but I do think
Hmm.
that Soul Eater was way more complete than this one is. And
Oh,
maybe
Soul Eater's completed. We
yeah,
haven't
yeah, that's
completed the
what maybe
series.
it's
Come on.
unfair for me to say because
That isn't fair.
yeah, but I there's a couple things like little nitpick things that are more less about like taking away from the greatness of Fire Force and more so I'm realizing my personal taste in anime is just different from some others. Like with the Campfire Grill. I'm like, okay, well, there's things about it that I didn't like, but that's not because this is necessarily a bad anime. It's just that there's things about it that I don't particularly. There's things that I like that I didn't see present, or there's things that are present that I didn't like. And like Fire
Mhm.
Force has a couple of those things. And if it wasn't for these couple things, I would have put it like it would have easily been in my top 10. But I think it's kind of they have like a
I think it's worthy of a top 10 place for
yeah.
sure,
I wouldn't
with
hate on
all
anything
that
that
it
makes the top 10.
introduces.
I wouldn't hate on
In the
anything
terms
that
of
makes
like
the top 10.
story, animation, and comedy mixed.
Yeah.
Like it
Agreed.
all feels like it flows together and doesn't feel like something's out of place, you know?
Right. I agree with all that. It kind of feels Dynasty Warriors 4-ish though. Kind of feels like
Really?
things don't progress until the main character enters the scene.
Ah, so it's covering a lot of side stories, you're saying?
Well, I wish it
Or s-
covered more side stories. I wish the side stories were more like how Fairy Tail has a wide cast of characters, but each character is very, or even Black Clover, like each character is very fleshed out. Like they all have
Yeah.
very distinct histories and interesting things about them and specific placement or reason why they are where they are. Um, I feel like they could have done a little bit better with that in Fire Force, or I wish they did a little bit better because some of these other characters that don't see a lot of light of the day are amazing. Like I really like the lieutenant, the super
yeah.
stern ex-military dude who can alter the fire in bullets or the ignition from guns. Like
Oh yeah.
I think one he's
I'll
an
say this because I'm
character.
caught up to the latest season.
Uh-huh.
Season one is definitely introduction to Shinra.
Mm-hmm.
More his character development and showing. While he's still in the other seasons do dive deeper into that.
Do you feel that the later seasons are for what age ranges? Like with this whole series, what age range would you categorize it
Um,
for? Teenagers?
Definitely like older teenagers.
Older teenagers. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't
What?
say it's more for 12-year-olds might not like it as much, but it is very appealing in the beginning of showing Shinra how he's like a kid just trying to be a hero, but has
Yeah.
that nervous tick of smiling when he's nervous, which is hilarious. And yeah, like he's seen as a devil more than a hero, but he's still trying to do what's good. So
Yeah.
I could see it be still kicking for like that shonen type.
Okay.
What's crazy about that nervous tick that he has, as funny as it is, like where it's like how everyone reacts to it, it's also I think it's because of the trauma of the demon smiling at him when he was younger. Like that's such a traumatic experience, and then to find out that that was his mom, that's way more terrifying. Like holy shit. But it's kind of weird, like how everyone just assumed, like, oh, well, you're a demon. It's like, yo, this kid's entire family was wiped out, and you're just calling him a demon. I'm like,
Because he
Right.
was smiling when it happened.
yeah, oh, yeah. So I could see that. Yeah, yeah,
From
you're
the
right.
outside perspective, like that's how they see him. Like
Yeah,
he's
like,
the one
what's
who
wrong with
caused
this
it, and
kid?
he's
Yo,
smiling.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, demon child type of Nico Robin thing or whatever.
okay, fair, fair, fair. Ooh, criticism withdrawn for that one. But the whole like they don't do anything with
But also
with
before
demon.
leaving that, like that's kind of scary for him
Hmm.
when he's nervous and like shaking, like he's smiling. We see him smile all the time.
Yeah,
The
Right.
poor guy.
yeah, yeah. Just anxious, just permanently anxious. But like they don't. Like for example, Iris, going back to my Dynasty Warrior thing, Iris and the lady, the captain of Squad 5 have history, but for some reason they
I think
never.
that's in season
No, it's in season
two.
one. That's like
Is it? Okay.
yeah, yeah, like when they first when Iris goes to talk to her and then the eight goes to investigate the fifth. That was in this season. So I'm just like, wait, so none of that happens until Shinra's here? Or when the captain with the
Weird
poison,
mask.
yeah,
Yeah.
goes to recruit the guy, like that nothing ever happens between them until or nothing big ever happens until Shinra happens to go over there to try to recruit him. So it's I mean, I like it and it feels authentically like it's authentically happening. It's just a lot of coincidences.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Now, I would have
Okay.
liked to, and again, that's
I
just
mean,
such a
I could
personal. It's
I
not.
could argue that this is more of like again his perspective on all this is happening right as he's there.
Mhm.
Whereas it's not that all this stuff wasn't happening until he got there, but more as this is him witnessing and jumping into it. And as a hothead that he is, seeing what's right, what's wrong, I'm going to do something about it now that I'm a firefighter. Things go into the, well, now it's not just some random people we're up against, it's a different division of the same company, you know?
Yeah, and I think like Full Metal Alchemist is one of my favorites for that reason because I think they execute that really well. You feel like you're getting this perspective from this young, naive person, but in the midst of a world that has already have had and is currently having a lot of stuff happening. It's not dependent on him for the stuff to happen. So over here, it kind of feels like it is dependent on him, or it just coincidentally doesn't happen until he shows up. Like this thing
Hmm.
happened way, way, way long time ago, but nothing else happens all the way up until the main character enters the fray. Uh, again, but
Mm,
it's
I
such a
mean,
it's such
there's
a
a lot of history in the past, I'm sure. They just don't tell you.
but nothing
And
happened.
that's part of the lore, I
Iris
think.
Iris never talks to the captain of the fifth, never goes to congratulate her when she gets the captainship, or they've never since eighth the eighth mission is to investigate. They've never gone to investigate the one company that's in charge of research. They've never had a, like it's just a lot of uh Vulcan has never been approached by the doctor in a super aggressive way. The doctor never deployed the White Clad against Vulcan all the way up till now. Has never utilized the
So
squad that he has.
too much character development happening in front of your eyes, type of thing.
No, just
I think he's saying it's
too
going
much
too fast
coincidentally
with not
happening.
enough time to slow down to tell him about it.
Yeah, also, I've been spoiled by One Piece, where it takes so much time to fully flesh out all these characters and then some. Like you just feel
Yeah.
like you're just kind of a fly on the wall after Robin joins the team. Like they go through this filler arc, but it's just a Robin interact like they're going on these travels, they come across these islands, that's part of the story, and Robin slowly learning a little bit more about each of these characters while simultaneously you're learning a little bit more about these characters. I mean, it makes sense that Usopp would be good at mixing gunpowder, but you don't think, oh yeah, he's way better than these expert pyrotechnics over here. But that's the kind of stuff that One Piece fully fleshes out. And all just to say, like,
Hmm.
I'm just selfishly want more than 24 episodes a season. Or
Okay, I'll say this, like that's comparing a perfect anime to an anime that's, more in the current era of like kids want everything right then and there. They just want, oh, I want to see it now. I want to see the bad guy now. I just want to see this. I just want to know
yeah,
what's the answer. I don't want to know all the bad, the good, and this and that. Like that's comparing a perfect anime to like a whole series that, is trying to come up to that type of era. And I think for its perspective of like when it came out, I think it did well in not overstepping its boundary of like going too fast or going too forward
okay.
and not filling in too much with like random stuff that's unimportant, such as Bleach fillers. Like
Hmm.
this series so far has, from what I can tell, almost no fillers.
I would
Why
agree.
did you pick Bleach as fillers?
Bleach has like some of the most fillers in its series before
Really?
Thousand Year Blood War.
A Thousand Year Blood War has fillers?
No, no, before that,
Yeah.
Did it have that many fillers?
Yeah.
the whole bounce arc was a filler.
Yeah, I know that.
But I'm okay with the Bound
But
arc.
did it have that much?
Yeah,
I like the Bound arc. Like
it,
I
Like
it
One
stopped
Piece
mid.
has a lot of fillers.
No,
but
it
it's
has
all
Yeah.
like it has
7 episodes.
contextualized.
Seven episodes?
Wait. Well, I think there's a difference between fillers that don't mean anything, just there for
No, 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 no. I mean, actual. It's not canon event type of
right.
filler.
But like I don't mind non-canon events if it
Hmm.
if it's like a day in the life kind of episode. I
Hmm.
mind fillers if it's just, oh, you're just throwing stuff because you don't have anything.
And that's what I mean with
Yeah.
Bleach.
Yeah,
They
Bleach
were
has a lot of
mid-fight
those
with
fillers.
uh Ichigo versus you uh,
Wait,
uh,
Who?
the
Choke on a Chojo star.
Wow. Euclora?
Oh,
Euclora?
Yukiora. Yuki.
Yeah, I don't know why I
Yeah.
can't say his name today. But mid-fight, they both stop, look at the screen and say, "Hey, we'll be back. There will be some fillers in between."
They said fillers. They called it
Yeah,
fillers. Oh my
yeah.
god.
And then there was
It's
like a whole
a
season
good
of
thing I
fillers.
stopped watching Bleach the anime.
Yeah. I did not.
And I haven't watched One Piece, so I don't know if it has a lot of fillers. I heard it had a lot of fillers.
It feels like it, but to
It
be
really
fair,
doesn't.
it doesn't feel like it if you watched it all. But the beginning of every arc feels like a filler, and then once the ball gets rolling, you're like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
All these cute little puppets and like all these toys walking around, and this is strange. And oh, there's little
There's
people.
a darker lore.
Yeah, and it's all connected to something that's gonna happen 300 episodes from now. It's like, well, what?
Hmm.
So yeah. Um, but the other thing that I would have, the other criticism is, I feel like, and this is just I think this is a uniquely me criticism. There comes a part in certain animes where I feel like they go like first of all, I need to say that this has an incredible power dynamic. Like the Infernals are like first generation. The people who can manipulate the flames are called second generations, and people
Yeah.
who can emit flames of their own are called third generations. That dynamic of itself, not like one's better than the other, but just that level degree of separation of how they classify powers, and then everybody uses those powers in specific ways. Like Maki and the Lieutenant are both second generations, but they use their powers completely different from each other.
Oh yeah.
Incredible power dynamic. But I will say the I feel like this is an anime that gets a little too far. Like they get too carried away when it comes to the powers. Like the same way that
Bro.
the shotgun gun meant one thing at one point, and then it meant 50 other things randomly. So I feel like the
It used to be being able to copy and see your opponent. Now you can
Yeah.
summon your own shaman.
Wait, these are
right.
different levels of Sharingan now, all right?
That's
Different
what I feel.
levels of pain,
But now
I
Right.
you can
think.
teleport and make copies of yourself.
Yeah. Especially the day of the Renengan where it's like, oh, you can resurrect people. No, you could teleport. Like,
Yeah,
huh?
the Gun confused the hell out of me. I was like, okay, you can see from
I
different
liked
angles,
it when it
right?
was just pains. I liked it when it was just pains, and I thought it
Yeah.
was a separate thing. I liked it then.
Mm,
Because if it was pains thing separate from Sharingan, that would have been cool. Keep it
right.
that. Don't mix it in. Don't mix it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. And but then so in this anime, I feel like that's what the Adola Burst is. Like the Adola Burst supposed third generation. And I love what's his face from the seventh captain. Like I'm 100% hands down the strongest person here. Period.
Is he the one with the
The cross.
double eyes?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
has stars in his eyes or something like that.
yeah.
No,
One
I
is an
think
X. One has an X, and
no.
then
Yeah, he's thinking of a different one, Rob.
X X and circles, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
X in circles. That's the one Rob
Yeah, yeah,
means.
yeah.
Star
yeah.
Eye, he's a different guy.
Oh, yeah,
Bro.
yeah.
I
So
didn't mean that guy.
I like that he could do both, and I'm curious to see if there's a story there, or it just toss it up to like, oh, he's just unique individual. That would have been cool. Like it would have been cool that since Shinra wants to be a hero, he could uniquely hear when people are in trouble. Like he just wants to show up. The same way Sanji, just every time a woman is in trouble, he just he knows about it. Or, like I'm cool with something like that. But specifically linking, oh, I can hear your intention or through the Adolo link, and then I could also use my Adolo link
I
in
want to
order to
say
access
let's.
a
It's not that
ridiculous
he can. It's just like it's calling him more of a like how can I explain it? A
Spidey sense.
no. Spidey sense would entail that he has some sort of control. This is more of like,
No.
hey, you, and it's just like, what the fuck just called me? That sixth sense type of
Yeah.
feeling.
No, that's what Spidey sense is. It's not voluntary. It's like an involuntary um sense of danger.
Hmm.
But yeah, so with this one, if that's all Adola Burst was, cool. But it's also his brother can steal heat
Season two.
from the entire universe and slow down or stop time.
Yeah.
Season two, I
That's
think. Is
that
season
that's
two?
No,
no,
that
That's
was
that's
only
the end
season
of
one?
and
season
the
That's
end of
one.
all in
season
fucking
one.
season one?
The
How
end of
great
season
is
one.
that?
He
How
can
great is that? Let's
steal
talk
heat.
about that.
Like physics wise, I get like okay, to say that okay, the faster things are going, the hotter they are, normal time, so taking heat away, slower. Okay, you're messing a little bit with physics. It's a little funky, but I could get the logic. But then to input, but also with the Adolink, you can break down your body and go faster than the speed of light
Yeah, I mean,
to
you're just a piece
counteract
of fire,
Yeah,
probably.
it's
slowing
within
down.
high pressure speeds, and speed is transferable by heat. I think there's a math to it. I forgot what it was exactly, but I know what
All
you're saying, Rob.
all
It
these
seems
things are
like,
this is
I,
Renengan.
I will tell you what this is, okay? You ready?
Okay.
In a game called, well, actually, any game, you have an ultimate move. This is that ultimate move.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a video game in the future,
This
Uh,
Rob.
is this is an ultimate move type of thing of something that just happens when it happens.
and if
You know, you smash a bunch of buttons, and then next thing you know, you're a Dola bursting through. Mm.
okay, I'm
You're
cool.
thinking too hard about it, Rob. This is
Wait, no,
a
no, no. I'm
teenager
okay.
anime.
I'm okay with ultimate moves if everybody has access to it,
I sure hope
Well,
everyone gets it
or
I
because
think
or
I
if you have
want
to
to
I
see
train
think
to
more.
get it.
it's more of like the closer you are to the power of yourself, the more in tune you can get, or if it pulls you in. Hint, hint. Uh,
Yeah. I don't know. I think Full Metal Alchemist just did this so much better. Where like,
well,
oh,
it had a
you passed the door
better.
of truth.
I'll say this for sure. It had a better power system explained with alchemy.
Yeah, at least better
With
structure because
fire,
again, I don't,
they're really stretching like what you can do with fire, which is amazing. This is super original. The fact that you have all these fire powers in one series and how they affect each other or how they can be better or worse versus a fireball anime with the mage who uses fireball for the entire series. And what's the special move he's gonna use? Big fire, but get the fuck out of here.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Like using unique stuff, touching on sci-fi, cool with it. But just for one thing to mean these three different things, and that's not even touching on the other pillars. It's just like for me, again, very specific. I'm not trying. This is it's hard for me to enjoy it as much when it's like there's too much niche powers happening only accessible to a certain few. It's
Yeah.
just it's a lot going on.
So you're trying to figure out how are you born with this power? How does it connect to your
That's the
person?
lore. That is the
I'm not,
lore.
I think
How
it
is it the
takes
lore?
away, it takes
How is it the
away,
lore?
it takes away from me wanting to find out the mystery behind something if the thing is just a random convenient thing that lines up, which is also
It is
lines up
pretty
with the whole
random.
Dynasty Warriors 4 thing where, oh, things are conveniently happening around this person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it caters to a lot of, like, especially current era anime watchers, but I feel like this show is just incredibly narcissistic. The same way that
Oh,
guys are very like cater to narcissistic people, or like, oh, they see the world revolving around them as opposed to understanding
yeah.
the world is a bunch of things happening and you're just a small piece. And if you could try hard and you could work well with others, you could try to figure out a way to maneuver and work together to try to find out or to solve mysteries or to beat the bad guy or to but this one is just and again it's such a stupid thing to pick at
Well,
because this
I
anime
want to
just
say
doing
this
things so well, but that's
in
just
reference to that. There was a book I read called The Spy, and it follows this the female lead, and in one of her stories in the book, she's talking about how she's in the middle of, like, not the middle of it, but in the city. And where in the city, everything moves. Everything's always happening. That's where like life goes. And once you're out of it, like it feels like you're completely disconnected. No one hears from you. You don't really talk about that person. But in the city, everything's going on, everything's happening. It's like you're always a part of the slew of things that's flowing around.
Hmm.
And if you stay still, you'll just get trampled over.
Yeah.
And in this sense, I think it's because he's in, it's not that it's because he's there, but more because he's joined the Fire Force, because he's joined Squad 8, which is their whole thing is following the traces and following what the cataclysm is, why there are people exploding.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's more of their goal is to find out, the lore. And I think it's more of like everything's happening, not just because they're searching in it, but they're in it. They're in the city. They're going for the calls. They're, hey, this happened over here. Let's investigate. Hey, this happens over here. Oh, let's talk to these people. Whoa, this is actually happening behind the doors. We were
Yeah.
just trying to find out about something else, but look what they're doing. So I think it's more the slew of things are happening because they're in the city, If
Yeah.
they're like in the outskirts of like what's that town in Goku's village where he used to live? If he stayed in his village in his little camp, he wouldn't find Dragon Balls. But
Mm.
because he went with Bulma, traveled the world, went into the martial arts tournament, was in the realm of things happening, it wasn't because of Goku. Goku got there and started doing things,
Yeah.
like it's in the realm of things happening.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and that's a valid point. And it does transition very smoothly. It's just, oh, they don't do anything. Oh, Iris is captured. That's why they're investigating this doctor guy, and oh, that's why they just happen to be looking for an engineer, or they're going through the Nether, or they found out. They started investigating the insects, or Joker showed up, and I love his character, incredible character, and
Great voice
started messing with
actor.
Shinra, and maybe
I'm
that's
not a
why the
fan.
eighth started spilling into all these things, or because of the doctor who's helping them out, and he's connected to Joker in some capacity, so that's why things. So there's a lot of things that happen that, even although seems too convenient, there are reasons that they do explain it. I just, as a story aficionado, would like it to be more fleshed out, but that's because was born at a different time. So, and I've watched One
And
Piece.
that's the thing. A lot of animes can't go back to that because they lose the attention of their crowd. They lose the attention of being publicized. They lose the
Right.
attention of, I just want it to be finished in one punch, man. They
Yeah.
lose that.
I mean, the age range, for this anime, quite low.
Oh
So we're
yeah.
not gonna get deep, deep stories like that.
But then also sometimes when you have those um deep dives in series, they themselves lose what their whole goal is. I mean, Metallic Rouge. I'm hoping the manga's better.
Ugh.
It had so much for it, but then in the end, we had like a stupid. Oh, that was my dad. Just
Wow.
why?
Good thing I
No,
didn't watch
Why?
that.
I don't think there's a
It,
manga.
it, it was a horrible end.
I don't even think they have a manga for it. Oh, that was. But yeah, but all to say, like the things that this anime does is, I love that animes like this exist. Or you know what? I encourage people to continue making animes like this, but I think this is the only one of its kind. This is a beautiful,
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. This Black Clover, Jujutsu Kaisen, kind of. Yeah, there's like less and less that you can name nowadays that don't feel like they're either a copy and paste of a previous series or a revamp remake of something that didn't need to be remade.
yeah.
Trigun. No.
Wow.
I enjoyed the last episode. I enjoyed the there's I could pick out parts that, yeah, but yeah. the
I just have to say, after watching season one, right, when I was what 25, I enjoyed it, but watching or catching up to it again, I don't think I'll be interested in season two or three.
You
Mm.
Now,
will like season 2 and 3.
don't tell me that.
I'll enjoy
I'm
it.
telling
Encourage
you.
everybody to. I encourage everybody to watch, and I also encourage everybody to continue watching Daddy's Dirty Library. We're out of here.
All
Peace.
right.
Eventually.
You want me to
Season two,
continue?
season,
I
You
mean,
want
I
me to
guess we could keep going
continue?
till it
season
cancels
two
out. It's gonna
has
be like
sticky
15.
ink.